Alright, super quick lesson here on some more Philly Joe Jones. I want to talk about just getting any kind of vocabulary. You could apply this to any style of music, really. But for this video, I'm talking about Philly Joe Jones and jazz, swing. So studying a specific drummer and getting their vocabulary and just messing around with it is a great way to really dive deep into a particular style and a particular musician. Also, you could apply this if you play other instruments as well. It's not just a drum-specific thing. So here's an idea for you on how to really learn somebody's vocabulary and style. Find their discography, pick something, listen to it, and simply stop the recording when you hear something cool that you liked and learn it. However you do that, if you don't know how to read music and you don't know how to transcribe, play it over and over and over again and then just use your ear. If you know how to transcribe, even better. Then it's documented. You can dissect it that way, and you also have it for later for your practicing. Do what you got to do. I did transcriptions of these because I learned how to do that and helps me out. I can come back to it a lot easier. Some people have crazy memories and they can learn something once and remember it forever. I'm not one of those people. I got to look at it. So the first one I'm going to talk about, so this is from Miles Davis' Cookin' album. The tune is Blues by Five. It's a medium swing, nothing too crazy fast, nothing too crazy slow. What I'm going to do is play a 4-measure phrase. 3 measures of time, the 4th measure is going to have the lick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one, moving on. This is from Train's Blues, which is from Miles Davis' Workin' album. Same thing. I was listening, played this lick, thought it sounded cool, stopped the recording, and I transcribed it. So same thing, 4-measure phrase, 3 measures of time, and then the comping figure on that 4th measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, you get the idea. Same thing. I'm just going to go through some of these, and then I'll show you a fun way to practice it. This is from Sonny Rollins' Tenor Madness. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's one more. Hank Mobley. The tune is No Room for Square. I'm going to do this 2 ways. You could swing the 8th notes on the snare, or you could play them straight, and it sounds really cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when I played straight 8th notes on the snare, I just switched the ride pattern. I just played quarter notes. Okay, so that's a quick tip. If you're short on time, it's an awesome way to get a little vocabulary. And just be consistent about your practice. Now, here's a fun way to practice these and really get them into your playing and vocabulary. After you've got a handful of these, start playing along with the recordings and use these figures in a musical way. So it's great to sit there and go, okay, what's this comping figure? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got to work that out. That's good for learning it and getting coordinated and making it sound good, but it's not musical, and that's the whole point. That's the whole goal. So why does Philly Joe Jones play these figures when he does? Let's just mark the form. So marking the form, what are we talking about? We're going to take a tune, Blues by Five. So it's a blues tune. It's a very common blues form, a 12-bar blues. So what we're going to do is we're going to break that into 4-measure phrases. Okay? And this also sort of follows when big chord changes happen in the blues. So typically, in a blues form, you're going to have 4 measures largely on the 1 chord. The next 4 measures will use the 4 chord, and then the last 4 measures you're going to finally hear the 5. Okay? So if you don't know what music theory is, that's okay. If you listen to this, you'll you'll be able to hear at least that there's a chord change, that the piano player and the horn players, bass player are changing something. There's a different sound. We're going to play 4-measure phrases, and we're going to go down the list of our comping figures that we've collected, and we're just going to play them on that last measure of each 4-measure phrase. So the first one, you're going to play, like I did earlier in the video, 3 measures of time. The 4th measure is going to have the comping figure. Next one, same thing, and just keep going, and it will work, and it sounds musical because you're marking where the rest of the band is changing something. And that's a big part of playing drums, is cueing and just setting up different, maybe it's a figure, maybe it's a chord change, maybe it's going to the bridge, all kinds of things. But if you really boil it down, we drummers, we're a part of our job is to hint what's coming next. You don't want to just play, if you just play fills and comping figures totally randomly, that's what it's going to sound like. It has no purpose. So this will help you too. So not only are we getting the vocabulary of a favorite musician, we are also practicing it in a musical fashion. I'm just going to play a couple choruses using that framework. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so I hope that helps. Gives you a little something to practice. And this can be quick. Remember, my biggest piece of practice advice is practice frequently. You don't have to sit at your instrument for hours and hours and hours a day. The main thing is frequent, very focused practice. That's going to get you very far and quickly. So, hope these little tips help you get out there. You can do this with any drummer. And again, if you're not a drummer and you stumbled on this video, do it as a piano player, as a singer, as a saxophone player, anybody, guitar players. Go for it. So, all right, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more.